It began with boredom. Past midnight, somewhere around 2 a.m., you were lying in bed scrolling through endless videos about making money online. Most of them sounded identical: crypto, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, side hustles pretending to change lives. Then one sentence caught your attention. Online casinos are built to profit even when players think they're winning. You kept replaying that line in your head. The next morning, curiosity pulled you deeper. You started reading forums, old Reddit threads, technical breakdowns about odds, RTP percentages, and house edge systems. At first, it all looked complicated, but eventually, the idea became simple. The casino didn't need to scam people. It only needed people to keep playing long enough. That realization stayed with you. A few hours later, you found a website selling ready-made casino platforms. Everything was already included: slot games, payment gateways, admin dashboard, user accounts. Price, $420. You stared at the page longer than you expected. It didn't feel criminal. It didn't even feel dangerous. It looked like software. That night, you bought it. No dramatic moment, just a confirmation email and a download link. You spent hours setting everything up: server hosting, domain connection, design tweaks, fixing small errors you didn't expect. By the time the sun was close to rising, the site finally went live. You opened it in your browser. Dark interface, deposit button, balance counter, a handful of simple games. Nothing impressive, but it existed. You tested it yourself, using a fake account, deposited a small amount, played a few rounds, won a little, lost it back. Everything worked perfectly. For the first time, you weren't thinking about profit. You were wondering something else entirely. Would anyone actually use this? The first day was silent. No users, no deposits. Just an empty website floating somewhere on the internet. Eventually, you posted the link on a small gambling forum with a short message: "New casino platform, currently testing." You closed your laptop and forgot about it for a while. A few hours later, your phone buzzed. New user registered. You opened the admin dashboard immediately. One username, no balance yet. Still, seeing another person inside the system felt strange. Then another notification appeared. Deposit received, $27. Not much money, but it was real. You watched the player session live: small bets, tiny wins, losses that slowly erased the balance until nothing remained. Then the user disconnected. No complaints, no message, nothing. You leaned back in your chair and looked at the remaining money inside your wallet. That was the moment something clicked. You hadn't sold anything. You hadn't convinced anyone. You simply built the machine, and it worked. Over the next few weeks, traffic grew slowly. A few new players every day, small deposits, $15, $50, $120. Not explosive growth, just consistency. And consistency was far more dangerous. You began exploring the admin settings more carefully. Statistics, game configurations, graphs. Then you found it. RTP, return to player, 96%. You paused. You already knew what it meant from the forums. Over time, players statistically lost 4%. Not immediately, not every session, but eventually. That was the entire system. The games weren't designed to crush players instantly. They were designed to keep them hopeful long enough to lose naturally. You started reviewing game logs differently after that. Short winning streaks early, balances climbing slightly, then slowly collapsing. The pattern repeated over and over, and then you noticed something else. The RTP setting could be changed. 95%, 94%, 92%. At first, you didn't touch it. The platform was already profitable exactly as it was. But every time you opened the dashboard, that number sat there like an invitation. One night, without thinking too hard, you lowered it from 96 to 94. Just 2%, barely noticeable. Players continued gambling exactly the same way. They still won occasionally, still stayed longer after small victories, still lost everything eventually, but your profits increased immediately. That was the moment the system stopped feeling automatic. Now it felt controllable. The site kept growing after that. You launched simple advertisements. More users arrived. More deposits followed. The dashboard never looked empty anymore. Transactions moved constantly across the screen. At some point, you stopped tracking players individually. You started tracking data instead. Total deposits, retention, loss ratios, net earnings. That's when the platform stopped feeling like an experiment. It became infrastructure. As traffic increased, you hired people to help. One person for support tickets, another to manage crypto withdrawals. At first, everything improved. Faster responses, cleaner operation, less stress on you. But slowly, tiny irregularities appeared. Withdrawal approvals processed differently. Certain accounts winning unusually often. Nothing obvious, nothing enough to trigger panic. Still, patterns always reveal themselves eventually. You dug deeper into the logs. The same employee appeared repeatedly beside suspicious accounts. That realization hit harder than expected. Someone else had started learning the system, the same way you once did. From that moment, everything felt heavier. Then one evening, your phone rang from an unknown number. The voice on the other end sounded calm. Your platform has attracted financial monitoring activity. We recommend reviewing your operations. Then the line disconnected. No details, no warning, just information. You opened the dashboard again afterward. Everything still looked normal. Players online, money flowing in, games running smoothly. But something had changed permanently. You no longer saw growth. You saw exposure. You reviewed team permissions and discovered one employee had attempted accessing restricted backend settings. Not fully, but close enough. That was when you finally understood something important. The system no longer belonged entirely to you. It had become larger than your control. Too many moving parts, too many people inside it, too much visibility, so you decided to end it quietly. Carefully, no sudden shutdown. You transferred funds slowly across different accounts, reduced employee permissions one by one, cut internal access gradually. Then, late one night, you opened the server panel and shut everything down. No farewell message, no announcement. The website simply disappeared, offline, gone. The silence afterward felt unnatural. No notifications, no flashing dashboard, no transaction sounds, nothing moving anymore. You turned your phone off and left. Days passed, then weeks. You never rebuilt the platform, but one thing stayed with you: the mindset. You started seeing patterns everywhere: systems, probabilities, manipulation, control. Because in the end, you realized something disturbing. You built a machine designed never to lose, but staying inside that machine long enough was the only way to lose yourself.